Dear viewers, welcome to this YouTube channel. In this chapter, there will be an explanation of the original horoscope's prediction, in an ascendant's verification in details, and the interpretation step, planet review, as follows. 1. Broad verification of an ascendant. Checking a natal chart with a native's character, manner, and habit whether they match or not. Since an expression is a clear outward activity such as if he is talkative, he should have Mercury, 4, related to his ascendant. If he is hot-headed, energetic, he should have Mars, 3, related to his ascendant. If he is slow, firm, and steady, he should have Saturn, 7, related to his ascendant. When we saw this, we could estimate his horoscope that which planet should relate it to his ascendant. After that, it will be simple question to confirm its clarity. There is no need to ask everything. Sometimes, we rarely ask for the confirmation. There will be some with a native that does not have any outstanding characteristics. He should not have any planet related to his ascendant. If we do not have enough time to observe the native, in this case, we have to ask a lot. But asking the question, we must use an art of speaking. We should have 2 to 3 questions to clarify the point. After that, we should predict in the way of asking to confirm the issue. When we are confident, we continue prediction on the next step. Reviewing of each important step are as follows. Checking in the natal chart that whether Mercury, 4, is related, conjunction, aspect, sextile, trine, to an ascendant or not and what is its dignity. Then, asking him is he talkative or does he love to talk, as usual, or not. If he is, he should have Mercury, 4, related to his ascendant. If it is in conjunction with an ascendant, it would be clear that he will be a talkative or a talker. But whether his talk is good or bad, we have to check the planet's dignity. If he is a quiet person or only talks a little, it would be obvious that his Mercury, 4, is not related to an ascendant. No matter how good dignity Mercury is, he will not talk so much. This is a main principle to verify his ascendant. It is rather the most effective question because it states the outward expression. Note that if a native has a Mercury, 4, on Ma and a house, not related to an ascendant, his talk frequency is normal but it will be confusing. His talk is not proper with place and time or it is hard to understand. Checking with a natal chart if its Mars, 3, is related, conjunction, aspect, sextile, trine, to an ascendant or not and what is its dignity. After that, we can ask the native whether is diligent or not. He does not have to be very diligent. It is enough if he is not idle. If he is diligent, his Mars, 3, should relate with an ascendant or tonused. It is different in some details. There is an information for some cases that Mars with bad dignity with no relation to an ascendant cause a person to be lazy. However, if Tonulak or an inner planet stays at Karma house, it will cause him to be diligent or workaholic. But if he would be very lazy as usual when he does not have any task to do. Also, if we ask him whether he is rash, hot-headed, and energetic or not. If he says yes, it would be very obvious. Checking with a natal chart if Saturn, 7, is related to an ascendant, we will predict that she is awkward, cautious. It is outer characteristics which is easily seen. If the native agrees or does not refuse that it means Saturn, 7, is related to an ascendant or it is Tonulak or Tonused. The habit of overthinking will be understood by the native, but other people might not notice that. Inner and outer characteristics will be explained in details in the upcoming chapters. ***. From my past experience, if the native said yes, it would be absolutely correct. If the native is not sure or try to explain, we can rather be sure that he is not overthinking because he should know it by himself. There are some cases that he is overthinking but could not understand himself. ***. For the case that Saturn, 7, is not related with an ascendant, we should not make such a prediction in this step because it has more elaborated details. Checking with a natal chart. If Jupiter, 5, is related to an ascendant, we shall make a prediction that his seniors would support him well. If the native agrees or does not refuse, it means that this ascendant is correct. But if Jupiter, 5, is not related with an ascendant, we predict that seniors will not support or help him. He must rely heavily on himself. This issue is very accurate, emphasizing that it means a help when he really needs. Also, when we ask that, we often receive a matching answer, since this is a normal issue and an easy matter to understand. But in this case, Jupiter, 5, is not tonused because it is the external factors. We will discuss it later on. If we ask a native whether he has a virtue or is often making merits, we would not have a clear answer. Usually, everybody understands himself as a good, moral person and is ashamed to tell the truth. When we receive all this information, we should obviously evaluate that whether we rightly place that ascendant or not. If it is not correct, we should move an ascendant, by time changing, and those two cases are considered as just the beginning. We have to verify further information until it is clear and we are extremely confident. But if we don't have a clear answer yet, we should add a secondary characteristic onto it. For example, asking that whether he is a proud person, always saving his own face or not, Sun, 1, whether his manner is good or not, Moon, 2, is he a stubborn person, or a rationalism or not. The rationalism planet is Mars, 3. If he is quietly stubborn, it will be a planet of Rahu, 8. 2. An ascendant's verification in details. The next step will be the verification in details. We can quickly check it with our expertise, or we can roughly pass it by using previous information as a guide. We could continue a prediction, but not in general order for each house, nor by the issue the native wants to know. General order will be as follows. Tonused consideration. We consider which planet is tonused, that native's character will be like that. For example, overthinking is clearly Saturn, 7, diligence is Mars, 3, a moral, honest person should be Jupiter, 5, elaborate person has to be Mercury, 4, soft manner is Moon, 2, a proud character should be Sun, 1. But we have to consider that a planet that is conjunct or related to an ascendant will give a very similar effect. See the details about tonused. Considering a planet in conjunction with an ascendant, a native's out characteristics will be like that. For example, Mars, 3, in conjunction with an ascendant will be a diligent person. Mercury, 4, in conjunction will be a talkative person. Saturn, 7, in conjunction will be an overthinking, cautious person. Rahu, 8, in conjunction will cause a person to fascinate heavily in something or be a cunning person. In the case of conjunction, we also have to consider the planet's dignity. For this step, we do just as this level without digging too deep. It is like Tonu said, but it has details and is more obvious that a general habit. Tonu said. Considering Jupiter, 5, if it is related to an ascendant or not. If it is, his seniors will support and help him. If it is not, they will not. But when Jupiter, 5, is Tonu said, it does not mean they will help him. We must differentiate these. If its dignity is good, his seniors would be powerful. Bad dignity means they rather have little potential to help. Considering which planet is Tonulak or Tonu's inner house planet. Since native's inner characteristics or his true character will be like that. Also, which house, Bhava, that planet is sitting in, the native will involve with that house's meaning. See Tonulak. Considering is there any planet in House of Patni? If there are many of them, more than 3 planets, we assume that the native will always love to have business partners or have many spouses. Many business partners will be the most obvious one. Considering Uranus, 0, that which house, Bhava, it is sitting in, which planet it is conjunct or related with. If it is in Patni house, he would change his spouse by a divorce or getting separated, very frequently or at least one time in his life. If it is in Karma house, it would often change his job or professions. If it is conjunct with or opposed to Mars, 3, he will face a health problem or an accident. Considering Saturn and Rahu by which house they are in, whether they are related to each other and related to an ascendant. If they match all those conditions, he will work very proficiently, and would be rich because these 2 planets are large friendly pair with beneficial effects. See monetary planets. Considering Jupiter, 5, plus Uranus, 0, plus Ketu, 9, whether all 3 planets are related to an ascendant or not. If yes, his consciousness would be swinging, timid. If they are all in conjunction or opposed to an ascendant. Sometimes, they feel like being possessed by a spirit or obsessed by superstition. If they are in sextile or trine to an ascendant or they are not all in the same zodiac sign, the effect will be diminishing by those aforementioned relationships. Considering planets in Kadampa, whether his wealth is stable. Answers in each issue are like a jigsaw. If it is all correct, it would be an obvious picture to make us confident. If they are partially correct, it made us less confident. But do not throw them away because some things might not happen yet. For example, for changing a native's own spouse, somebody might face it when he is more than 60 years old. By a divorce, not death, changing job, profession when he is after 50 years old, we have to look more in further details which ascendant will match with the fact. It does not have to be frequent change of a job, profession, but it will be a big change of job, profession. Generally, an ascendant's verification is not a very complex matter. The reason that I explain in detail because some person does not have any outstanding character or characteristics. Which zodiac sign an ascendant will place on could not differentiate that kind of horoscope. We will identify those differences by checking Tonulak because it is a native's deep or true character that is very unique. For example, Virgo, 4, will be elaborate, Libra, 6, will be imaginative, fantastical, Scorpio, 3, would be stubborn, rationalist. They are different. Asterisk all of these are the prediction of basic horoscope. I brought them up to initially verify only large issues without going into details. Asterisk and ascendance verification must be done every time, although we know an exact time of birth. We change time back and forth for 1 hour each to check the changing of an ascendant, Tonu said, changing zodiac sign planets, including auspicious times. Then, we change it again for half an hour to verify it. Which ascendant and Tonu said matches the fact, we then use them. The original horoscope's prediction, Step 3. Interpretation step or planet review. 3. Interpretation step, planet review. In this step there will be a prediction in details. The core is to consider planet relationships, mixing of planet meaning, planet comparison, planet review, etc. It will be respectively as follows. 3.1 Interpretation of Tonu said. First of all, we have to interpret Tonu said for a general character without much details. We do not have to check Tonu said planet's dignity but let it be neutral in dignity. Looking a planet number with a cross, plus, above. Also, if your prediction does not match his character, do not change his ascendant yet. Somebody might have no outstanding characteristics or some traits might cover his character, but his Tonu said might be correct. We must look to his Tonu house. If it does not match again, we change an ascendant. Sun, 1, is Tonu said, he is a proud, honor-loving, never-losing face person. His proud would be strong or not, we must look to his self, house of Tonu, that planet's dignity, and those planets who's related to an ascendant as another step. Moon, 2, is Tonu said, he is kind, sweet with good manner. Whether he is charming or too soft, we have to check the planet's dignity. Do not interpret in details in this step. Mars, 3, is Tonu said, he is diligent. Checking Tonu for how much diligent he is. Mercury, 4, is Tonu said, he is elaborated person, likes informative, or textual task. Checking Tonu how elaborated he is. Jupiter, 5, is Tonu said, he is soft-hearted, compassionate, honest, loves to help people. Checking Tonu. Venus, 6, is Tonu said, he is imaginative, fantastical or art-loving or entertainment-loving, or poetical. Checking Tonu. Saturn, 7, is Tonu said, he is an overthinking, very discreet person. Checking Tonu and other relative planets later on, if his Mars, 3, is strong, it means he slows in thinking but he might be quick in action. It does not have to be slow in both thinking and doing. Asterisk Rahu, 8, Ketu, 9, and Uranus, 0, are not Tonu said. Tonu said is very important as a part of Tonu, it is a general character. No matter how good or bad dignity it is, or should it sit in Ari, Mahana or Venashana house, we do not have to consider. It is a general character and it only involves a habit without any external factors or other details. 3.2 Interpretation of planets and houses, bhavas. The next step will be an interpretation of planets and bhava or houses. The issue that we would like to know will be at its corresponding bhava or houses. By counting a house that an ascendant is sitting as the first house as Tonu. From it, count them counterclockwise, as the second one, Kadampa, and third one, Sahaja. We should start predicting from Tonu house because it is his self and almost everything will be related to this house. We can say that Tonu house covers almost all of his life. Other houses are complementary details or self's modifiers. I will portray each bhava, house, starting from Tonu. Please stay tuned for the upcoming episodes.